Welcome to today's grocery discovery, and today it's all about avocado oil. Did you know that 82% of the avocado oils that were recently tested this summer are fake? Yes, they are fake. We are not getting what we think we are, and today we're going to talk about it. So we're going to talk about what are the good avocado oils, what are the bad ones, and I'm going to share with you 5 tips on how to pick the best avocado oil. Hey, I'm Annette Reeder from the Biblical Nutritionist.com, and today I can't wait to share with you God's recipe for excellent health, and it's all about avocado oil. Now, before I share with you these tips, I want you to go ahead and hit the like button if you're on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, hit the like and the subscribe and the notification so you get notified every time I post more videos that help you understand God's love for you and how your body was created. Now, let's get started. Today I want to share with you what's going on in the avocado oil industry. Basically, with no standards set by the FDA, we don't know if what's on the label is actually in the product. So we have to kind of go back to that video I shared recently of what is my one secret when I shop the grocery store. So go back and catch that video. It's so important to give you peace at what you're buying. Now still, we need information, and we need accurate information. So this study that was just published in June of this year from the University of California, Davis, revealed that 82% of the avocado oils don't have 100% avocado oil in them. I hate it when those studies come out because I want to think I'm doing what's best by adding in avocado oil into my family's diet because it has such rich vitamins and minerals and essential fatty acids. It helps people to prevent heart disease. It helps to correct imbalances. It's good for diabetics. It's good for everyone who wants to get rid of inflammation. It's a high cooking oil, high cooking smoke point. It's just an all-around good oil to have. But yet, they found one of the oils had 100% soybean oil. That's horrendous to discover this. So let me tell you this. Now, the FDA, which stands for the Federal Drug Administration, also covers the food. I want you to be your own FDA, your only family dietitian always. All right? So, and also, I know some of you are a lot more clever than I am, and you could come up with better words to fit that acronym FDA. I want you to post those down below. What would you say is the FDA? How can you be the FDA of your family? I'm saying that, hey, you're the family dietitian always, and so you are in control of your family's diet. Now, I look forward to your comments. We need to understand what's on the label and what's not. So I picked up 3 bottles. I have 2 that we're going to look at the labels and decide, okay, is that good or is it bad? And I have 1 that's exceptionally good. In their study, they found some of them were very oxidized. In fact, they were so oxidized that it was very rancid. And we're going to talk about this at the end with my 5 tips on how to choose a good avocado oil. So stay tuned for that. That's important. So some of their oils were rancid, some had very little bit of avocado oil, others had canola oil, sunflower oil, and soybean oil, and there was even one that had corn oil in it. These are oils we're not paying for. The reason they're doing this is because those oils are cheap, mass-produced. Avocados take longer to grow. They aren't as mass-produced. You're not going to see fields and fields and fields of avocados like you do soybeans and corn. Now, here's my fun tip for the day. In Israel, there are 2,000 acres set aside to grow avocados. In fact, they've even come up with their own version of an avocado. It's called the Galil, G-A-L-I-L. Probably, for those of you from Israel, you're saying, man, you butchered that name. I probably did. Because that is an avocado that actually blooms earlier in season, so they have avocados earlier in the summer rather than waiting till fall harvest. That's just my side note. So let's get back to this. Let's just go over the testing and the importing of the different brands of avocado oil. We have extra virgin and virgin. This is supposed to be just a mechanical process, and there's nothing wrong with that. It means they pressed the fruit, the fresh fruit, to get the best oil out of it. We saw this happen with our olives that we picked in Jerusalem. We took them to a press and we watched them get washed and pressed and turned into the most amazing, that was totally the most delicious olive oil I've ever had in my life. It was so full of flavor. I didn't realize olive oil should taste like that. It was so good, but we got it straight from the press. And we even brought home a couple bottles. It was so good. Well, avocados are the same. We want that first pressing to get the most delicious, the most delectable, the healthiest oil possible. Now, refined oil, that is where you've got heat and chemicals, which changes the nutritive value to be, in some cases, carcinogenic. And so this means the oil went from being a free radical fighter to a free radical problem. In the Treasures of Healthy Living DVD series, I teach all about free radicals and why they're important and how your body uses them for good to help fight for you. And you'd be amazed what all free radicals do. But what we don't want is we don't want the damage of free radicals. We don't want the carcinogenic effect of free radicals. And that's what happens when our oils are heated too high, when we don't get fresh fruit, when we get fruit that is not good, we can actually have a carcinogenic oil. All right, oils are oxidized when they're exposed to heat, air, and light. This is why, well, we're going to get to that in the tips. I'm jumping ahead. And so they recognize that many of the oils in the study were mixed with sunflower, safflower, soybean oil, and vegetable oil. And then there were some of the samples there were 2 samples that actually were very pure and non-oxidized. And I'm going to share with you those 2 samples. One of the samples that was totally pure and 100% non-oxidized was this brand here. It's called Chosen. Chosen is a brand that I actually was able to pick this up at Kroger today. So if you have a Kroger near you, you can also buy this online. I'll put a link to it down below. So Chosen is a very good brand. It tested 100% pure in their test. Another brand that tested well, which I was not able to get for you in any of the stores in my area, and I have almost every store out there, is Marianne's avocado oil. I'll put a link to that down below as well so you can kind of look at it, get a picture of it in your mind. Actually, I take that back. They do sell it at Costco. I just don't have a Costco membership. So you can grab it at Costco and pick it up there. So those are the top 2. And those are actually both made in Mexico. Now, when you look at the American-made products, you're going to be looking for a product called CalPure, C-A-L-P-U-R-E. Now, when I looked at the word CalPure, I was thinking of this brand, which is California Olive Ranch. And it's not the same. This is not the same product as the product that actually passed all of their tests. It's called CalPure. I'll put a link to that down below and a picture of it so you can say, okay, I recognize it, I can pick that up. And yes, you can get that on Amazon and several of the online shopping. Of all of the samples that they tested, only those 3 brands passed the test of being pure, not oxidized, and 100% avocado oil. Now that puts most of us in a dilemma. So what do we buy? Let's go over the 5 tips as to how you can buy the best avocado oil. Number 1 is flavor. The flavor of virgin avocado oil can be different depending on where it's been grown and the climate and all of that. So just realize, authentic, fresh, virgin avocado oil is going to be a grassy flavor, a buttery flavor, and a little bit like mushrooms. Now, to be quite honest, the 3 of them together does not make me want to go out and enjoy some avocado oil. But the health benefits, protects against heart disease, helps with diabetics, helps people lose weight because it's a healthy fat. It's just amazing health benefits. So it is worth diving into. It is worth taking a bite of this nutrition value that God designed for us. So flavor is number 1. Number 2 is color. Now, virgin avocado oil should be green in color, whereas a refined avocado oil is going to be light colored. It's going to maybe even be a little bit of yellow. So I want to show you the colors of these 3 avocado oil. Virgin avocado oil should be green in color, whereas a refined avocado oil is a light yellow and almost clear due to the pigments removed during refining. So you can see I have poured these 3 out, and Chosen, you can see, has a green tint to it. Over here, the California Olive Ranch, it is more of a yellow. That is basically because they added so much olive oil to it. So it is not a pure avocado oil. I'm not saying that's bad, I'm just pointing out the different colors. Here we have the Aldi. The Aldi is almost clear. You can see it's got less color than the Chosen. So I would imagine that it does have some avocados in it. I just don't believe it's as much or as pure as the Chosen brand. So color is a second way we can choose a good avocado oil. Number 3 is how do you store it? How you store it is going to determine the life of that oil. We do not want to buy a huge container of oil because it can go rancid just by the timeline of when it was bought. So even good oil becomes rancid with time. It's important to purchase a reasonable size that can be finished before the oil oxidizes. Store the oil away from light and heat. Do not put this in a pantry near your stove. Do not store it in a shaker bottle on your stove to use as you desire. Make sure it is stored in a pantry away from the stove, away from light and away from heat. A dark cabinet would be best. Tip number 4 is smell. How do you know if oil is rancid? Well, it starts to smell stale. I've had oils that just smell like, oh, that is awful. That is not good at all. Sometimes people say it smells like Play-Doh when it's bad. So use your senses and you will know whether or not you have rancid olive oil. And then number 5 is the date. When possible, choose an oil that's closest to the harvest production time to ensure maximum freshness. The best before date is not always a reliable indicator of quality. So I just want to share with you these bottles and the dates that they have. So this bottle here, you can see it says best by 2/22. So we've got two and a half years. Actually, this was processed in August of 20. So this means this was just processed recently. It is from Mexico. That's not bad. And so I would want to buy as close to the first date as possible and as far away from the second date. So when you see oils start to get to that best by date, you'll see them go marked down dramatically. So there you have it on that bottle. Let's look at the next bottle. So here we have the best by date. Again, we have May of 2022. This one is not as easy to identify when it was processed, but if I have 2 years out, that means it's probably fairly fresh. Now, what I don't like about this is this has a combination of several countries. So we have California, Argentina, Chile, and Portugal. And then the avocados are from Mexico. I prefer it to all come from one place. So right here, it's just Mexico. That means I am going to have the freshest oil possible. Now let's look at the one from Aldi. Okay, so Aldi, it's not as easy to identify when it was made, but our date is only 1 year away. So this has a shorter timeline, so I'm not sure about as fresh as it would be. I will have to contact this company to see when it was made. Once again, it's telling us this is a product of Mexico and Spain. There's plenty of avocados in Mexico that they could have made this straight just from Mexico, but for some reason they're combining it with avocados from Spain. So there you have it. Now, I'm not trying to scare you away from avocado oil. In fact, I want you to use avocado oil in your cooking. It's a delicious food. It has so many nutritive values to it. It should be a part of your cooking at least once a week. Add some avocados into your diet as well. Get those healthy fats, healthy fiber, healthy protein, and hey, it's even got some fiber, so make sure that's a plus. So let me just share with you, remember the secret to shopping. Go back and check that video out. God knows the plans that He has for you, plans to prosper. That prospering is not just in your health, but that your health is well and that you are able to share the gospel around the world. That is our purpose. Our purpose is not to just, hey, I want to be healthy so I can just live my life on my own. No, the purpose of your life is to recognize is that God loves you. He loved you from the moment of conception. He desires to have a relationship with you. And then He also asks us, hey, tell everyone about Him. That is our mission. And we are never out of that call. We are never out of that mission. We have been called for a purpose. Now I want you to live that purpose well. I want you to enjoy the foods that God's given you. I want you to enjoy the gardens that He's put you in and plant yourself, start spreading seeds, and then share in the harvest. Hey, I'm Annette Reeder, the Biblical Nutritionist from the biblicalnutritionist.com, and I love sharing these videos with you. I love teaching you about God's love and His grace. Now, let's go and tell the world about it.